Okay. This guy
Okay.
is from the home and native land. It's offensive lineman Gabe Wallace. So, first of all, just from the name, if I go Gabe Wallace, sounds like he plays for on an offensive line, doesn't he? That sounds like an offensive lineman's name.
Sure does.
And, he's like the former game day host, Nate Burleson. They're both from BC, so that's Canada, and he's a homer pick for me. And if you could just pick an offensive lineman based on size, I got these numbers. The CFL had their combine, so I had to get most of my stuff from there. But he's a mammoth. So this guy's 6'6", 340 pounds. Holy crap.
Okay.
That's a big dude. So you compare him, and I will in a little bit. Now, the speed, though, I had a hard time finding. So in one of his profiles, and I can't remember what the draft thing was, but he was anywhere between a 5.17 and a 5.38. So I don't know if I misunderstood that, because he ran a 5.7 at the combine. So it's not quite as fast. However, when you're looking at offensive linemen, the 10-yard split is very important. He did a 1.88, which is respectable in the offensive lineman world. To compare, the big kid out of Georgia, he did a 1.78, right? And he's
Okay.
a top 5 draft pick, or top 10. So he's very, very versatile. And I expect for him to either go 6th, 7th round, or maybe even another undrafted free agent. And he played every position except for center. He played on one of the better lines in the MAC conference. And we know the MAC, like, it's not Big Ten, it's not the SEC, but they constantly churn out players. I mean, Roethlisberger played there. We had Alex Mack, Khalil Mack come out of there as well. But the big thing about O-line, and you said this when you were talking about O-line, and it's any guys really in the NFL and the NCAA. It's games started. Listen to this: his graduate year, played 12 games, so 5 games as a left guard, and then he moved and finished for the remainder of the season at left tackle. He made the All MAC third team, and which allowed for the fewest sacks in the MAC. Senior, 13 games, all at left guard, made the All MAC third team again. Number one offense, or one of the better offenses in the MAC. Junior also played, just made a mistake. Junior played 12 games as well. So he's got a lot of games under his belt. They averaged 400 yards of offense and 195 yards per game rushing. So who has he met with? He's met with the Browns. He's met with the Chargers, met with the Cowboys, met with the Bears. He met with the Vikings, Bills, Steelers, and the Washington Commanders. In an interview with him, he said he got the warm and fuzzies mainly from the Eagles and the Dolphins. He is a hard-nosed offensive lineman. He can really propel a team forward. He loves the dirty runs. He loves grinding out tough yards in the line of scrimmage. He doesn't care much for the spotlight. He just wants to help the guys win. So it's kind of funny, though. If you ask him what he's best at, he says he wants to play guard. If you ask NFL scouts, they want him to play tackle, right? So where are we here now? So improvement. So he needs a little bit better pass pro technique, which maybe anyone could use in the draft. Could be seen as more of a blindside protector. So they're looking at left guard or left tackle, and you would based on his size, right?
Right.
Needs to be a little bit more consistent and doesn't hit with the second hit, they usually say. So he's pretty good with the first hit of contact, but the second he doesn't get to. The biggest thing that I like for the zone scheme that we run is that he has an easy way of getting to the second point of attack. So he's getting the first blocker, or say he's getting through the first his first block, and he's hitting the second line. Is basically what I'm hearing from his scouting reports. So who is he comparable to? Well, if I'm just going on height, weight, and I'm going on 40 time. So JC Latham from Alabama. And just so I want to be clear of this, I'm not saying he is that guy and is going to be that guy right away. What I'm saying is they're both 6'6", with 340 pounds. And in the high end of one of the times I found, he ran a 5.31. And that's what I'm saying. So if our new offensive lineman can mold him and we can get anywhere close to what JC can do, I think that's a win-win. So he's bigger, he's stronger, and faster. We'll see what happens. But I will say that he is faster just because he can get through that second wave of attacking defenders.
I definitely think the Browns are going to be looking for offensive linemen in this draft, and I'm glad that you brought him up because did you say what round kind of projected?
I would say 6, 7, or undrafted.
So these later round guys, potentially undrafted guys that the Browns could end up with, this is huge for us because we don't have, after the Jerry Jeudy trade, we don't have a ton of picks. What do we have? 5 picks now, I think. So, we're going to have to be a little more selective. They brought in Adeniji for the, in free agency to kind of fill. I think he can do guard, a little bit of guard, a little tackle, whatever the Browns really need him to do. But we definitely need to be looking for the future of the line. I think that Andrew Berry, we talked about this in a previous episode, he learned from his mistakes. And I think one of his mistakes was drafting James Hudson because Hudson did not have a lot of experience playing offensive line. He was a defensive tackle, converted over to offensive line, did okay in that last year in college at Cincinnati, but he did not have the background, the extensive experience that these guys that we're talking about now have. And I would be surprised if he made that same mistake again.
Yeah, absolutely. And I liked what you were saying previously about our offensive line. We just need some young talent to develop. I think he's got the right pieces. Again, along the lines of saying the same thing about Aiden is just let's mold this guy. I mean, I see we were talking about our draft picks. I have him up. So round 6, we're picking 206. That might be a little bit high for him. I can see us picking him at 243 though. Okay. And signing him as a rookie free agent, would never know. But I mean, I think it gives us some versatility because he's played all the offensive line positions other than center,
And we know how much the Browns value versatility, that flexibility to be able to put guys in different spots, especially later in the draft. We're not going to be drafting or potentially signing an undrafted free agent in Gabe Wallace saying, we think that we want you to be our starter. That's not the idea, guys. The idea is to get good quality, solid depth on the offensive line because we have some depth, but we don't have a ton of it right now, and we need to start building that a little better. And this could be one of those pieces for sure.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. We're not just to touch on what you're saying. We're not part of that decade of decadence anymore, where we needed every single draft pick plus hopefully a couple free agent gems to start for us. This guy is gonna, be something that we can mold. The other thing is once you get past the second round of the draft, the offensive tackle does drop off a bit, and just time constraints. I didn't see if anybody near the 6th and 7th round are 240 pounds and 6'6". That's stuff that you want to bank on because you can't teach that size and weight.
No, I mean, and strength matters because these pass rushers on the defenses right now, these guys are just monsters, just freaks of nature. And that's why DeJuan Jones was such a great pick because he had that basketball background. The dude is 375 freaking pounds of body. That's a lot to move, but he knows how to move his feet. He's got quick feet and he can shuffle. And that's what makes him such a damn good tackle.